Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if it's the first time you're visiting. Thank you so much for joining me today, and if you've not already guessed by the title, today I'm going to be filming 5 intoxicating fragrances. And these are 5 fragrances that I just can't get enough of. They are truly addicting and I just keep going back for more. And I would also call these sexy fragrances. But I do want to note that these are fragrances that I myself find intoxicating. Whilst I'm sure other people around you will find them intoxicating too, I buy fragrances for myself and myself only. I think these fragrances will also get you lots of compliments, and that of course is really nice too. But most importantly, I think I smell good, and that's all that matters. So if you like the sound of that, then please do keep on watching. But before we get started on the video, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out and I will continue making fragrance content like this in the future. And I would also love it if you could join me over on Instagram. I've popped my handle on the screen and I'm always asking for YouTube ideas over on my stories, and I just love chatting to everyone in the DMs. So now I've got that out of the way, let's get started on my 5 intoxicating fragrance picks. So I don't think this first fragrance will come as a surprise to anyone that watches my channel, and my first pick would be Commodity Milk, and this one to me is truly intoxicating and very addictive. I also think this is a very sexy fragrance, but I would wear this more for like a date night in, a Netflix and chill kind of vibe, not necessarily for a date night out in like a fancy restaurant. It is a super cozy and comforting scent, and I just become truly addicted to this every time I smell it. I think it's just one of the most gorgeous fragrances I have in my collection. Yeah, it is beautiful. So the main notes in Milk are of course milk, but not as you would suspect it. It also has marshmallow, mahogany wood and tonka bean. And it is just the most gorgeous kind of cozy marshmallow and woods scent. It reminds me of kind of roasting marshmallows. It's not super sickly by any means. And I just think this is one of the best releases that I've got my hands on over the last couple of years. It's absolutely a favorite in my collection. And if you have not sampled this one, then I would highly recommend you do so. So Commodity fragrances actually come in 3 different scent spaces. So you have the personal, the expressive and the bold. So this one is the expressive version, which sits in the middle. You have the personal version, which is a little bit more subtle. It's more for yourself, maybe more of a skin scent. And then you have the bold version, which is much more potent and it will be smelt by a lot more people in the room. But this version is my personal favorite. I think it sits nicely between the two. However, I could personally own all 3 of the Milk fragrances. So I'd highly recommend you checking out Commodity fragrances if you haven't already done so. I know that they actually sell in the US now too, so I will pop the links below. I actually have a 10% off discount code for Commodity fragrances. If you want to use that, I will pop the info in the description box below. But Milk is just truly one of my favorite fragrances I've ever purchased. I absolutely love this one. Next up is another fragrance that I've spoken about a few times on my channel, and it is by Soradora and it is called Mandole. And I am absolutely in love with this fragrance. I think it's actually perfect for this time of year, but I would definitely reach for it all year round. It is so intoxicating. I will regularly just go over, take the lid off and smell it because I just think it's absolutely phenomenal. Oh, I love it. It has this gorgeous kind of cozy cherry vibe to it, and I'm not normally a massive cherry lover, but this one just takes the cake for me, literally. It kind of smells a little bit like cake, but it's got a booziness to it as well. But it has notes of suede, tonka, caramel, cashmere. Oh, it's just so lovely. I can't even tell you how much I enjoy this fragrance. It has a hit of cacao in there too, but what I mostly get from this composition is this gorgeous kind of boozy cherry, rum and caramel vibe, and then the tonka and suede kind of balance this and make it a little bit less sweet and more comforting. I would say this is, yes, an intoxicating fragrance, but I also think it's a very sexy fragrance too, and it's definitely unisex. So yeah, if you haven't checked out Soradora yet, I would highly recommend checking out this brand. I absolutely love the bottles. I think they are so beautifully designed, and they do actually sell discovery sets too. I also have a 10% off discount code for Soradora, so that is also in the description box down below. But yeah, I think Mandole is definitely my favorite from the brand. However, Orchidée Rouge is also a close runner-up to this one. So yeah, that is Soradora Mandole. So the next fragrance is a newer addition to my collection, but I've already become addicted to it, and that is the newest release from YSL, and it is called Babycat. And this is from their Versatiles collection, and I think the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. I went with the bigger sized one, and this will last me quite a while. However, from the moment this arrived in the post, I have been drenching myself in this. So as soon as the 125ml bottle came in stock, I ordered this one straight away, and I have zero regrets. So I'm hoping this will be available in the US soon, but if not, keep an eye on Selfridges for stock because I know they ship internationally. But yeah, Babycat is ultra addictive. It has like so many of my favorite notes in there, including saffron and vanilla. A lot of people liken this to Rosendo's No. 5, which is a fragrance I don't much care for, but I can actually see the similarities. Now, when I reviewed this in my first impressions, granted I only smelled it in the department stores, I didn't really pick up that opening kind of slightly rubbery note. However, I do pick that up now, but it's very subtle and it's actually a very addictive note. I find this a very sensual fragrance actually. So whilst it's intoxicating, it's also ultra sexy in my opinion, totally unisex, and I think it's well worth trying to get your hands on. So it has notes of pink and black pepper, but it also has the saffron and the vanilla. But then the thing that really grounds this is the suede in the base. And yeah, you've probably seen quite a few people talk about this one now, and for good reason. Absolutely love this. You're probably going to see me review this in more videos to come. But yeah, it's super intoxicating and I cannot get enough of it at the moment. Okay, if you're a regular viewer, you probably won't be shocked by this next fragrance. And it is by Perla, and it is called Possibilites. And yes, this is one of my favorite fragrances of the year. If not my favorite, I don't know yet. We will see at the end of the year. Wow, this one I would say is probably the most intoxicating one for me personally. I don't know what it is about this fragrance, but it is so damn sexy. I am totally addicted to this for whatever reason. It's not even necessarily a scent profile I am normally drawn to. There's a lot of white florals in here, but it is so sexy, and I know I keep saying this. I highly recommend trying to get a sample of this one if you haven't tried it already. But La Perla as a brand has really shocked me. Now they are very floral dominant. I wouldn't say they're very unisex appropriate, but La Perla is obviously a sexy lingerie brand, so it's no surprise that their fragrances are also sexy. But I would say this is more intoxicating than sexy because I can't get enough of it. I continuously go up and smell this from the bottle. I am wearing it today. I wear this all the time, and I would say it's definitely my signature scent right now. As soon as I use this bottle, I am going to get the bigger size because this is just the 30ml, which I think is a great way to start with the brand. I know the 30ml size bottles are a lot harder to get hold of at the moment, but definitely keep checking stock because I think it's, like I said, a more affordable way to try the brand if you can't get hold of the Discovery set. So let's talk about the notes. So what I mostly get from this is kind of the blackcurrant, the freesia, and the pink pepper. Now, when this dries down, the pink pepper lasts on my skin throughout the whole day. Now, I have seen a few people saying this doesn't last more than 4 hours on them, but it's totally the opposite for me. It lasts all day. And specifically, if I manage to spray it on clothes, which I tend to always do, this will definitely last me the whole day, if not multiple days. But the opening is definitely more floral. So you get a really prominent freesia note in the opening, which I think is beautiful and super fresh. But then it has Petalia, the fantasy note. And I think it just makes this a very rounded and feminine fragrance. It also has blackcurrant, rose, and woods. And I definitely pick out the blackcurrant in the top. But mostly it's just a white floral pink pepper woody fragrance, and I'm truly obsessed with it. I'm probably not going to stop going on about it for a long time. It just feels very me for whatever reason, and yeah, I would say out of this list I find this one the most intoxicating, and so many of you have picked this one up and told me how much you love it, so I'm so glad that other people are enjoying this one too. It's definitely getting quite hyped up at the moment, and I'm so sorry for hyping it up too, but truly, I'm in love. So that was the Perla Possibilities. Now last, but definitely not least, we have Kilian's Angel Share. Now I did leave this one to the end because I think this is maybe the most talked about fragrance on my channel. I think this is absolutely incredible and very versatile. It's totally unisex, and it is also my most complimented fragrance, I think. Definitely up there in my top 3. People love this one, and even friends and family that come round, this is normally their favorite fragrance, and for good reason. It is totally addictive. If you wear this around me, I'm probably going to be sniffing you, which sounds a bit creepy, but it is what it is. It's just that good. What I mostly get from this fragrance is a warm cinnamon apple pie. It's the vibe I get, and I think it is so fall winter appropriate. But it also has cognac, tonka, oak, and praline. It is definitely a gourmand fragrance, and it does lean very sweet. But I do recommend you trying this on the skin, because the first time I sampled it, I tried it on the paper test strip, and it smells completely different on skin chemistry. It warms up, and that's when it creates this kind of warm, decadent, spicy apple pie vibe. Super delicious. I absolutely adore this one. It's going to be a staple in my collection for years to come, and if I do ever finish this bottle, I will be repurchasing another because I absolutely adore this one, and like I said, it is totally intoxicating. So that was Kilian's Angel Share. So that was the 5 most intoxicating fragrances in my collection. These are the ones that just are the most addictive to me personally. I just love them. I reach for them all the time, but even if I don't wear them all the time, I open the bottle and just sniff it from the cap. And that says a lot because I have so many fragrances, and it's hard to become addicted to one in particular when you have so many different ones to try. But these 5 are absolute standouts for me personally. Were there any in my list that you have tried and you absolutely love too? Please do let me know. But what I most want to know is, what are some of your most intoxicating fragrances? The ones that you just can't get enough of, because let me tell you, I definitely want to check them out too. I'm always on the hunt for new fragrances. So thank you so much for watching today. I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe to my channel. Of course, only if you enjoy my content. But I hope to see you all soon. Thank you so much, and goodbye.